So number 1, apparently people said they thought that said 87 degrees. All right, that is not 87 degrees. What does that read? To the power of 0. And what is anything to the power of 0? 1. So this becomes 1 minus 1. So your answer is B, 0. All right. When you multiply, what do you do to the exponent? Add them. So then your answer to number 2, C. Okay, so make sure you're checking the answers as we go. Okay, because there's no answer key. I'm giving you guys the answer. So make sure you guys are paying attention. Number 3. Okay, be very careful right here. A lot of people do miss it. They put, yeah, see? They put 3x8 rather than 9x8 because the 3 is inside the bracket. So you have to make sure you square the coefficient as well. Okay, so your answer for number 3 is C. Yes. Yes. Okay, number 4. Okay, all of them have a base of 7. So just like the previous one, when you multiply, you add the exponents, and when you divide, you subtract the exponent. What is the invisible exponent right here? 1. So don't forget that. So 5 plus 1 minus 3, you get 7 to the 3. Alright, number 5. Katia, what happens to the ends?
They cancel out.
They cancel out. That's why you have no more n right here. You can think of it as n to the power of 0, which is the same as just 1. That's why the no more n's. Okay. Number 6. Okay, the 1/4 is inside the bracket. So again, you are squaring the numerator and the denominator. So it's 1/16 for number 6. Right, Nanny? And Basil? Long. Okay. You're paying attention? All right, James. You too. Hi. Okay, number 7. Which pair are not like terms? B. Because this one has an exponent, this one doesn't. Can't mix them. It has to be the same degree. Okay, number 8. Your terms are separated by the plus or minus sign. So you have 3 terms right here. So it's called a trinomial. Okay, number 9. I want to make sure you guys remember degree. Okay, so for number 9, you have 3 different terms right here. So remember, you're calculating the degree of each term first. Yeah, Katia?
So for the first one, I do 5. For the first one, I use 5. The second one is 4, and then the third one is 6.
Yep.
So the answer is D.
Is D. Good. Okay, so remember, you do not add the exponents of different terms. So for the degree of this polynomial, you're taking the highest of the 3. So in this case, it's 6. Okay, I'm pretty sure some of you chose C. Okay, remember we add within the term, but not among the terms. Alright, 5 to the -2, negative exponents. Alright, Kevin, negative exponent. What happens? Flip the base, right? So does it make it negative?
No.
No. Okay, so remember that it's a common silly mistake that people do. So the negative exponent, just flip the base, so then you get 1/25 for 10. Number 11. You are subtracting the exponents since you're dividing. So m minus 3 to give you 5. So that means m is simply 8. Okay, number 12, just solving for x. So moving the number to the right side. So -2 becomes +2. Okay, so I'm just going to pause for a minute. All right, number 13. 13, we're isolating the variable h. Okay, so we want h by itself. That means we have to move away the b and the 2. It doesn't matter which one we move first. So in this case, I'm multiplying the 2 first, so 2a, and then I'm dividing it by b. So then my final answer, 2a over b. Nicholas. Oh, okay, sure. So I'll just give you guys a second to copy that down first. Okay, number 14. This one takes a little bit more time. Okay, you are given a fraction equals another fraction. So what method do we use? Usually we do LCM if it's more than 2 terms. So if it's just a fraction equals another fraction, yeah, cross multiply. That's right. So you're right. So if I had an extra term in here, like plus x over 5, for example, then you would multiply through to get rid of the denominator. Since this is just a fraction equals another fraction, cross multiply. So write it like this so that you don't miss multiplying the 2 with a 6. And then write it like this with the bracket. All right, and then do you guys remember what property this is called? Distributive, right, good job. Okay, so multiply, 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 multiply. You got that. And then letters to the left, numbers to the right. When you move the letters to the left and right, don't forget to change signs. So then 18x minus 16x, you got 2x. Negative 4 minus 12, you get negative 16. So when you divide it, you get negative 8. Okay. Same thing for 15. You're distributed using the distributive property, so multiplying. Okay. And then after I distribute, I don't see this answer here. That's because the middle part I can simplify. That's why it's called expand and simplify. So these two middle terms add up to be negative 6x. I get this question a lot. Miss, isn't 2 negative a positive? Isn't it plus 6x? Why not? Partian? Because I'm subtracting, I'm not multiplying. So 2 negative make a positive is only when you're multiplying or dividing. Okay. How come I didn't get an answer like x equal, like up here? Is not an equation. This is an expression with no equal sign. So you cannot solve something with no equal sign. So equation, expression. Yep. Wait a couple more minutes. I'm almost done. No. Factoring is in grade 10.
Number 14, you know how it's like cross multiplication, right?
Yeah.
If you do the thing I said earlier,
yep, you could. It's the same because if you multiply everything by 24, so 24 divided by 4, you get the 6. 24 divided by 6, you get the 4. So it comes out to be the
so it
same.
doesn't really matter which.
Nope.
It's like you have to do that if there's multiple terms.
Yeah. All right, good question. Oh, 16 and 17, it's technically not in the curriculum anymore. Direct and partial variation. It was in the curriculum and then they took it out, but then they didn't put it in grade 8 or grade 10. So I don't know when they're going to teach you direct or partial variation, or they think it's not important anymore. All right, so basically, direct variation, it just means it goes through 0, 0. And then partial means it does not go through the point 0, 0. All right, so for example, right here, y equals 66 times x. If x is 0, what is y? 0, right? So it goes through 0, 0. So we say this is a direct variation. Right? Similarly for this one, when x is 0, 68 times 0 is? Plus 99? 99. So when x is 0, y is 99. So is that direct?
No.
Nope. So it's partial. If you're doing it on a graph, then you can see this one crosses your y-axis. Your y-intercept is at 99. Whereas this one, your y-axis is right at the origin. Okay. So that's what direct and partial variation means. I don't know why they took it out of the curriculum. It's not that big of a deal. But in case it pops up again. Yeah. So just so that you guys, you won't be asked that on the final exam, but sometimes EQAO likes to pop something in on surprise. Okay, so number 18 is tricky. Number 18 says, which of the following is a primary source of data? What does primary mean in general? Yeah, directly, firsthand, that's what it means. And out of these, it's C, when you survey your class. Okay? Statistics Canada is definitely not firsthand. They do, like, for example, like towns and then cities and then put them all together and then find the average. So number 18 is C. Yes. Okay. Give me. I just have a couple more. Okay. You heard me talk about this term a lot. Number 19. When we go beyond the data points, what is that called? Extrapolation. And it's within? If it's within, it's called interpolation. Good job. All right. Number 20, these motion graphs right here. How do I tell which one, like if I were to just eyeball it, which one would be the fastest? R. Because? Right, okay. You did not see that on my page already. Right. So if you just eyeball it, you can see which line is the steepest. Steepest means going the fastest. Okay. And if you think this one and this one is about the same, if you take a look to actual calculate the slope, the rise over run, you can see that this one was 1.5 kilometers in 2 minutes, whereas this one is 2 kilometers in 2 minutes. So this one is faster. Okay. And when we talk about speed, it doesn't matter if you are going away from home or going towards home. It's speed is speed. Okay, just like this one right here. Okay, which one shows an acceleration? Right here with the curve. The curve always represents a speeding up. So suddenly you're moving faster in shorter time. Okay. This relates to number 22. Okay, notice in number 22, horizontal line. We talked about this in distance time graph. What does that mean? Stop. It stopped. Excellent. Right, no movement. You paused. You died. Okay, so at 12 o'clock, you were 50 meters away from home. After 2 hours, you're still 50 meters away from home. After 5 hours, you're still 50 meters away from home. So you are still same spot, no movement. Okay, and then lastly, number 23, constant of variation is just a fancy way of saying rate of change. So if you can earn $250 in 5 battles, how much do you get per battle? 50. You just divide it. So 250 divided by 5, you get $50 per battle. Okay. So that was supposed to be your homework over the weekend. Okay. When I did this with my morning class, we took exactly 23 minutes for these 23 multiple choice questions. Okay, which is the exact timing that you should spend on the final exam. So on the final exam, you guys have 25 multiple choice. How much time should you spend on that? You have 25 multiple choice. How much time? 25. Okay, so no more than 30 minutes on the final exam for multiple choice. I think the multiple choice questions is put at the back of the exam, and that's because we want to make sure at the end, if you run out of time, worst comes to worst, what can you do? Guess, right? All right. We don't want you to spend the whole hour on 25 multiple choice questions. Spend it on the questions where you can pick up part marks, more marks for doing simple questions as well. So then the multiple choice is at the back. If you run out of time, just guess A, B, C, D, or E. If there is if you feel that you want to do the multiple choice as a warm-up instead, feel free to just jump to that first and then go to the full solution part. Okay. All right. Any questions? Homework number 24 to 38. Number 24 to 38, and we'll take up these ones tomorrow.